G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Snagged Podcast. Crew is back in Hobart.
We're back, mate.
We're back, and what's been happening on the weekend?
Oh, dude, I haven't been doing any fishing. I've just been working, but the kingfish are just going absolutely nuts at the moment off the rocks of Blackman's Bay, in the Channel, Storm Bay. They've been going nuts. It's all kingfish fever at the moment. I love it when it's kingfish fever. It's always cool lures, always rolling through the shop and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. But I haven't actually had a chance to get out and get any of them. Yourself, what have you been up to?
On the weekend, I did a bit of patrol maintenance. Did all basic stuff to keep it running. I got some relatively far driving trips coming up and towing a boat, like making sure all your brakes and everything is A-OK. Driving with a boat on is always
advisable. Well, I guess you travel up the west coast. It's a big trip.
Yeah.
A lot of people sometimes forget to go and do that stuff, but sometimes it'd be just as important getting the boat and the car ready as it is getting the gear ready to go. So
did even stuff to my car to get her all ready for the next couple of weeks because we've got long weekend coming up. Is it this weekend? No, it's next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then yet again, probably try and do a mission for some kingfish in between there. But yeah, that was about it. How about you, Patrick? Much or?
No, haven't been able to get out.
School getting in the way, mate.
Yeah.
That's right. School and work and that always gets in your way.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, it's like fishing wise at the moment, it's been really good. There's heaps of warm water around.
Yeah.
And squid are going nuts and stuff as well, which we're doing about 2 hour reports at the moment. But I'm trying to play the most exciting thing we've got going is that epic prize we're about to give away.
Yeah.
It's one lucky member. So we were lucky enough to get our hands off from Shimano an extraction rod and an 8,000 Stratic, which for any of those that don't know, that's a particularly nice combo. We're going to spool up with braid. Well, going to be worth well over $1,000 for some lures and a heap of lure packs as well. So we're going to give that away to one lucky member. So if you're not a member, jump on board. You got some guys are winning some epic prizes, and this is one of the bigger ones we've done for a while. So I'm looking forward to that, giving that away in the next few weeks.
I don't know why it's giving you a thumbs down.
Oh, I don't know why. The video keeps looking at me and giving me thumbs down. Maybe we should have given it a stellar away.
And on the other news, since I've got some trout sort of trips coming up, since that water's slowly up the lake starting to cool off, we're going to be doing 40% on Fish Australia on plastics and hard bodies and stuff like that.
That's good.
So, yeah, that'll be probably coming live. This will be uploaded on Thursday, the 27th. So she should be live by then on there. So if you need a little restock for your trout,
that's a good deal. 40% off. I'm gonna have to buy some myself.
Pretty much half price. So
is it?
Yeah, but
awesome. All right, guys, let's get into some reports. Now, I've scoured the internet trying to get these reports, talk to customers, obviously, with people talking about what's happening in and around the state. But if you guys have any reports, please feel free to send them on our Facebook page or Instagram page. We'll get them. We'll definitely chuck them in here. And don't forget to send your brags in too. Yeah, people don't like bragging as much as I thought. That's all right. That's all right. Well, I'll find them. All right, cool. Get into reports, guys. Good number of kingfish all around. Reports for some decent ones off Blackman's Bay rocks. Had reports this week of guys getting them off Blackman's Bay and losing them and snapping rods, so that's always a bit of fun. And Coles Bay starting to fish pretty well up there as well, so that's awesome work. Love the kingfish. Love them. I don't know how long they're going to hang around for, so if you haven't got into them yet, get out there and get straight into them. Doing still fishing well for bream. I've seen a few reports come in over the last week. A lot of guys saying they're hanging a little bit deeper. So don't be afraid to get plastics down on the bottom or your deeper diving hard bodies. It always works well. A few reports of bluefin in Storm Bay and up the east coast, which was a new one that started hearing about today. So Eagle next seems a little bit quiet, but up the coast and out in Storm Bay, that's going really, really well. Squid fishing well in the snug area in Conningham still as it was last week. Dan's Points, it could have been a bit of a standout spot. Obviously, for those who've been out, they know that there's salmon and mackerel absolutely everywhere, which is a good thing for this time of year. Good to see bayfish and stuff everywhere. This is a cool one. Some decent King George whiting being caught off Den's Point. That fishery starting to develop down here. So, once we've got the snapper, once we've got the kingfish, once we've got King George whiting, we're absolutely laughing. So, hopefully.
Anything on size of them?
They're not particular. No one really mentioned anything, but obviously, the were King George. I saw a few photos. They're probably from the 40s. Not enormous ones, but we'll take any King George whiting we can get down here at the moment.
That's the thing though, in the tamer and stuff like that, you'd start to pick up your 40s and stuff like that, and now it's like you go there, almost not guarantee it, but if you get onto them, you usually manage that one fish over 50, and it just
But I think it's that thing like if the fishery is protected down here a little bit, or people do the right thing, and if you're not taking an enormous feed home, maybe just catch one or two and let the others go, which is a bit hard to do with King George Whiting because they are so nice to eat. But that look at that snapper fishery where people weren't targeting them, and the guys that were letting them go. And now the snapper fishery is getting better every single year, so that's absolutely awesome. All right, cool. What else we got? Plenty of makos down Eagle Hawk Neck and up the east coast. That's going really, really well. What else we got? A few guys chasing flounder and stuff around the Swansea area. That's been going well there. Over into trout, Lake Crescent is still fishing well. Has been fishing well all season.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a tough trout season by all accounts. A lot of people saying about cormorants and stuff like that, but all in all, it's just been a little bit quiet. And I think for whatever reason.
The other thing too is I remember in our earlier reports at the start of the season, which has probably made the cormorants have done even worse, is a lot of the lakes are really low. And they have been since the start of the season, which, I mean, it's a lot easier to find a fish in 2 meters of water compared to 5.
Yeah.
So, and just feeding patterns and stuff like that, you'll find if you fish a lake and it's well high up, fish will be up looking at the new grounds, chasing, trying to find food. Whereas if, it's getting lower and lower, they're sort of...
Yeah, they get a little bit sluggish too when it's doing that sort of thing. Some of the got fly guys have been doing quite well. Yeah. Great Lake's been fishing on the midge really well all year. I was literally talking to someone about 3 days ago in here, and they were saying that they've been having the most epic midge feeding sessions up at Great Lake, which is kind of cool. So, but I think a lot of the lure guys have really been struggling. Like Bronte's been tough. The whole Brady's changed been tough. I did hear Echo was starting to fish pretty well. That was probably a week ago. So I think if you're going to go anywhere up in that chain, Echo definitely be the spot to spend your time. It's a good numbers and half decent fish coming out of there. The other big one is Sorrel. A lot of guys starting to fish Sorrel. I think a couple of guys had some pretty good sessions up there, and it sort of gets out like it does on the interwebs. And a lot of guys then to the point where I'm actually thinking of trying to go up there over the long weekend because I haven't fished Sorrel since, Jesus, probably your age. Back in the day when we used to fish it all the time, we got some great fish on there. And a couple of guys were saying they were fishing up there and getting, one guy hooked up to a carp net. So there's still a carp net in there, so he wasn't quite sure whether to pull it out or leave there.
There was, because when it first sort of opened and that crescent influx was going, I had a crack on Sorrel, and there was a few carp nets around, and fisheries were still poking around doing their carp net thing. So I think it's just sort of a bit of an ongoing thing, just monitoring it, making sure.
Just being sure.
Because I suppose if you miss one, it breeds.
Yeah.
Or if you miss a couple and it breeds.
Shut down again, and away we go.
Shut down and go again. But yeah, I'm definitely one weekend. I think I'm gonna just take a miss on casting for kingfish and try and manage to get a trip up the lakes and chase some trout. As it's been a hot minute for me since I've had a bit of a trout mission, which is very...
Sounds like a trout trip's coming up.
But yeah, I think Echo's definitely one that I want to hit because last time I looked at water levels, it was probably the highest sort of average out of all the lakes up there. This was probably a month ago, so it's probably completely changed. But yeah, and also Sorrel there. You're hearing really good reports of people going fishing Sorrel and just saying I literally had one person say to me that Sorrel is literally there's times where it's you're fishing for a school of salmon except for 3 or 4 pound trout and they're just smashing Galaxia in the surface.
Yeah, it's good fun. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. All right, guys. Time for some brag reports. Let's go. All right.
First up, we got Kane Thomas with a cracking stripey. Do you say anything on the location of it, or?
No, we did not. Absolutely, but it was a cool fish.
Yeah.
No, I would say it was down Eagle Hawk Neck by the looks of the background photos. All right, young Patrick, you're up.
Hole and Mitchell Rogers getting onto the...
I believe you find that's Michael. Michael Rogers.
Michael Rogers.
Getting into some Kings on red and white skirts, so awesome work, Paul. Connor Tapner with a couple of awesome Kings as well. Kings going nuts at the moment.
Got Jake Towns with a cracking kingfish. Smile says it all.
That's it. Yeah, he was a happy boy. I like it when they have a good smile on their face. Blade Augusta, Dermot King caught by his mate on 8-pound braid. That's a good effort. I remember hooking one years ago up at St Helens. We had a 4-way hook up and I had 8-pound braid on a 6-pound leader. Got up to the boat 5 times, but no one could pass me the net because everyone was hooked up and ended up dusting me in the end.
I remember last year I was down working in Hobart when I was living in Lonnie, and I was just bored, so I was like, screw it. We were staying at Kingston, so I was, screw it, go down, try and catch something off the break wall. Had 1,000 Stratic and
Brilliant.
2 to 4 Zodius, and I think I've caught the first undersized kingfish that I've ever heard of. It was like 43 centimetres.
Nice. Maybe that can't go wrong with that.
You can.
Well,
It could have been 2 centimetres bigger.
it could have been, but still cool. Yeah, let's not get fussy.
I'm fussy.
That was it.
Moving on, we got Dennis Farrell with Down Alley. Water temp has dropped a couple of degrees, but kingfish is still about. Got this 54 centimetre one whilst targeting flathead, and saw a second larger one follow that flathead in. So
That's kind of cool. They do like following up little flatties. I had a few guys in Northwest Bay saying the same thing, that they've been out there just flicking plastics on the bottom, winding up some little flatties or whatever, and the kingfish come screaming up after them. And obviously, when you're doing that, you're not prepared, eh?
yeah.
This is always the way.
Like, it's funny though, the things that they will chase. Like, you hear people say they're fishing for squid, and like sort of once they get close to the boat, they burn it up.
Yeah.
You got a kingfish come and chase it.
Yeah.
That's like sometimes you feel like you can't do anything right, and then you do stuff that you would not plan to catch a kingfish, and then
Yeah. Need some
have something come up.
some flatty soft plastics for them. All right, young Patrick, you're up.
Jamie Cooper with an epic flatty.
Did you see that one? That thing was a stonker. Got up the East Coast. I was on the brag mat.
Is that like a blue spot one?
Well, I couldn't quite see in the photos. It looks like a blue spot, but it's always hard to tell if the photos aren't really taken correctly. You should see the little spots coming out.
We got Craig Large here with a bit of fun up the Tamar this morning. Lots of mackerel, a few small flathead, and not
Quite size.
pinky release.
He gives us a little snapper there. He did well. This was a cool one. Rachel Wright headed out with the big man Stewie Nichols himself the other day with some awesome stroppies and some decent gummies as well. So we are big shout out to Stewie Nichols. If anyone's ever looking for a saltwater fishing charter operator, highly recommend Personalised Sea Charters from Stewie Nichols. He's the man. And that's it for brags.
That's all.
Oh, cool. All right, so guys, once again, like we were saying before, you want to win some awesome prizes and support us in what we do. Number one, send in your reports, send in your brags, send in your funny stories, but more importantly, become a member, www.snagged.com.au. Get yourself a weekly membership. You can cancel any time and win some awesome prizes like that $1,000 Stratic Shimano combo we're giving away very, very soon.
That's it, man. You guys want to win it, so head over there, join in.
What are you doing?
Mate,
He's a child.
I am reinventing aerodynamics right here. Have a go at it. Got nice flashy wings, and we're off.
I'm going to crash.
Thank you very
guys.
much.
Have an awesome week. Thanks for watching.
You.